Hey everybody, Pete Gluzak here for Bass University TV, and we're going deeper. We're going deeper into a technique that I love. It's fishing a frog, a topwater frog, and I'm here with my good friend Freddie Boom Boom Rombanis, who is a frog fishing nut. Thanks for being with us today, buddy.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here and to be working with Bass University.
You've been with us for a while.
Yeah, I think I might have been one of the, in the very beginning actually.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. It's such a neat class because not only am I instructing and teaching what I know, I'm learning from you, I'm learning from Ike, I'm learning from all the other top anglers, and I've picked up so many just little details that have helped me become a better fisherman, a better tournament.
Man, well that's awesome. I appreciate that, and that's what we try to deliver, and that's one of the reasons why I love having you as an instructor, because you're an out-of-the-box kind of guy, and I love listening to your seminars. You think about fishing differently, but we're here to talk about your obsession, which is, and I can't wait to get into it, but it's frog fishing. Just tell me why you love it so much. I mean, you're obviously obsessed with it. You fish it every day, everywhere you go. What's so awesome about fishing a frog?
And a lot of it just comes from my background. I grew up in California, fished the California Delta, Clear Lake, and shallow water frog fishing. Fished against guys like Ish and Bobby Barrick and Gary Dobbins, who had just won so much money with a frog, back in the day. And Barrick's won 20-something boats, I believe, with just a frog. And I've been in events watching him and Armando Luziaga and just a bunch of these old West Coast dudes that just dominated with it. And so it just, I'd be out there throwing spinnerbaits on the edge of the grass, like a lot of the other guys are flipping, and they'd be up in that grass throwing a frog, and they would be coming in with, 3 or 4 more pounds on an average than I would be coming in with. So I had to learn.
Opened your eyes.
It opened my eyes. Hey, I need to get into this grass. I need to learn it. And I'm not going to be a self-proclaimed best frog fisherman. There's guys out there that like to do that. I'm just going to say I love it. I'm obsessed with it, and I'm always trying to be better at it. And
it's pretty cool, right? I mean, when they hit it, the whole world knows about it. I mean, you can hear it from 100 yards away sometimes.
Yes, it's and it's always when you least expect it. And one thing that I've caught myself doing today, even so far, is the frog is your opponent. Okay, so in a sport match, you never take your eye off that frog. You never take your eye off that opponent. And the moment you do, that's when that big one hits. Sometimes it can be for the better, and sometimes it can be for the worse. But yeah, I mean, just focusing in on it, you're making the bait work. You're not going out and casting and reeling in something. You actually have to physically trigger these fish to bite. It's a lure that it's a crafted art. Getting out there and working the bait and learning the nuances that trigger the fish to bite. And we're starting to kind of dial it in now, I think, and hopefully we'll make for a great show.
Yeah, well, we're gonna really show that the different techniques that you use to trigger the strike, fast, slow, pause, all that stuff, and I can't wait to see that. But one of the things that we had talked about a little earlier, and I want you to share it with our Bass University audience, is what you're doing with the frog. Like, a lot of people think, hey, I'm fishing a frog because I'm trying to represent a frog that the bass feed on. But that's not always the case, is it? It looks like a lot of different things out there.
Yeah, absolutely not. I think that's probably the biggest misleading, is you're throwing a frog to mimic a frog. No, actually, a lot of times you're mimicking a frog to mimic the hatch that's in the water.
Right.
Bait fish. A lot of, when a bait fish gets injured, it comes to the surface and it's, flopping around like it's, hurt, and a fish takes advantage of that opportunity. It's an easy opportunity for a fish to grab something that's already somewhat injured. So, it's triggering an instinct.
So you can use a frog as they're blowing up around us here, but you're using a frog sometimes to look like a shad, a tilapia, a bluegill.
Sure, absolutely. Like, for instance, this guy right here. This is more of my bluegill color. It's a now these are prototypes of my new Fred frog the Boom Boom frog coming out.
Welcome to Bass University TV, an online video training course where you'll learn champion bass fishing techniques from pro anglers Pete Gluzak, Mike Iaconelli, and their talented special guests. From on the water to in the classroom, you'll learn sound techniques and strong fundamental bass fishing skills. Watch hours of video content on multiple topics at your own pace for a low monthly fee. Cancel at any time. Information is power in the sport of fishing, so learn from the very best. Subscribe to Bass University TV today.